Athletics Now presents Athletics World Weekly. In this edition, Usain Bolt underlines his brilliance. Johan Blake, second to no one. Mo Farah takes on the 2-mile record. Ivan Ukov pushed to new heights. David Rudisha back on track. Maria Savinova pursued by Delimo. Athletics produces 3,000-meter spills, along with quick 100-meter thrills. All that at a half marathon in beautiful Brazil. And a look back at the only British male athlete who holds a current world record. Athletics World Weekly heads to Zurich, Switzerland for the Weltklasse Samsung Diamond League Athletics meeting. A cold, wet, rainy night greets Usain Bolt, who is making his second track appearance since the Olympic Games. Bolt, of course, was the major attraction, as he always is. The men's 200 meters was again Bolt's medium for his message, as the double Olympic champion was back on the track 7 days after his Lausanne Diamond League victory. Wallace Spearman, meet record holder in this event with a formidable 1977, is a multiple 200-meter world champion medalist and the son of talented USA sprinter Wallace Spearman Sr., a 20.27-meter 200 runner back in the early 80s. Bolt gets a good start for a change and has made up the stagger on European champion Tadru Martina in 7th. Nicholas Ashmead in 4 is flying and has made up ground on Olympic bronze medalist Warren Weir. Bolt is in full flight, but Ashmead is close and threatening, but can't quite get there as Bolt again crushes the 20-second barrier run in 19.66, while Ashmead scores big with a 19.85 personal best to underline the Jamaican 1, 2, 3, and 4 finish. The men's 100 meters featured Johan Blake, Jamaica's second fastest of all time, tied only to the man on the stage left, Tyson Gay. The only man who stands in the way of Blake's claim to sole possession of number 2 fastest of all time after his scintillating performance in Lausanne a week ago. Gay, often injured, has been fighting to regain the form he had here at the 2009 Shanghai Grand Prix, where he matched up against a healthy Asaka Powell and ran this awesome 9.69, handily defeating the Jamaican and Nesta Carter. Carter is again in the blocks facing Gay tonight and has improved immensely since that race in 2009. Part of Jamaica's Big Four. At the start, an unsettled Gay in lane 5 seems a bit jumpy. But a false start at the gun was alarming at the prospect of either Gay or Blake being given the red card as the crowd anticipated. It was fairly obvious by the replay who was culpable for the false start: Tyson Gay. A dejected crowd of 25,000 were deprived of a head-to-head matchup against two of the best, but the race must go on. Blake gets out quickly as Carter in lane 7 along with the 36-year-old Collins in 1, but Blake is 2 steps ahead as he sizzles up a beefy 9.76 time as Carter also cracks 10 seconds with a 9.95 card. Bailey hangs on for 3rd with Collins 4th. It's that sound again. No, that's not a replay. This is or was the start of the women's 100 meters. And the culprit this time can Kelly Ann Baptiste, the World Championship bronze medalist who has been running really well this season with a 10.86 booking earlier this season. Too bad. At the restart, the field is still cracking as Olympic gold medalist in the 100 meters, Jamaican Shelly Ann Fraser, is on the track along with silver medalist Carmelita Jeter. Also on hand is 200 meters gold medalist Allison Felix, who is sensational at running the 100 meters, posting a 10.79 in Rome. At the start, Fraser Price in lane 2 gets out best, but Jeter in 5 is a step behind. Felix in 4 is falling behind as Price has no equal today as she wins in 10.83, besting Jeter's 10.97. Another big win for Price as she is the world's undisputed #1 over 100 meters.
Birmingham, UK, and Alexander Stadium was the venue of the Avivia British Grand Prix. A big British crowd ventured out to the 36-year-old stadium to cheer again for Britain's Olympic hero, Mo Farah, as he makes his return to the athletics stage in the form of a 2-mile special. The 2-mile event is rarely run outside of the UK and the United States, and is not in the typical range for Mo. But as we all know, he has excellent range from the 1500 all the way up to the half marathon, as his victory in the New York Half Marathon speaks for itself. This race was billed as an attempt to take down and rewrite the legendary Steve Ovette's British 2-mile outdoor record of 8:13.58, set in a thrilling 1978 race. Yeah, it's been that long.
The world record holder destroyed there by Ovett. The wave with fans in the crowd. He wins it. Rodel second, Balarovsky third, Pauliunis is fourth.
Actually, Mo has run faster than the 2-mile record. If you can remember the last time Mo ran in Birmingham indoors, back in February, that resulted in an awesome time of 8:08.07, but a disappointing second place finish behind Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge. That run sliced almost 10 seconds from the 10-year-old British indoor mark held by John Mayock. Farah also broke the 39-year-old European record of 8:13.2 set by Belgium's Emil Putmans. But the point of sidebar is an outdoor record has to be set outdoors, and that is what is on hand today. A slowish first 400 meters revealed a rather pedestrian split in the form of a 72-second first lap, which pretty much set the tempo for the rest of the race. Another tactical affair that pretty much left to tatters the idea of this being a serious attempt at a record. With 2 laps to go, Farah had slowly inched his way up to second place and was waiting for the right moment to pounce on the sluggish field. And that moment came when the American Bobby Curtis made a play for the lead. Mo's acceleration is the stuff of schoolyard dreams, as his kick is perhaps the most potent weapon in his arsenal. Not one of the nearly 13,000 fans cared that the 29-year-old was unable to break the record as he predicted. But he won the race with considerable ease. This 2-mile event closes out the 2012 outdoor track season for Mo. The double Olympic champion and world champion at 5,000 and silver medalist at 10,000 meters has just stamped paid to a season that I don't see how he could ever surpass. The men's 110-meter hurdles was slated to be a hotly contested affair as the Olympic gold, silver, and bronze medalists were in attendance. The start was textbook Merritt as he, along with the rest of the field, get out great. By hurdle 4, Jason and Merritt have gained a bit on the field as Oliver is holding third. But it's tight at the top as Merritt can't quite shake him, but somehow just nips Richardson at the line. 12.95 wins the day as well as a new meeting record, shattering the old standard of 13:01. Merritt and Richardson have both dipped under 13 seconds and have now clearly stated their dominance atop the high hurdles rankings. The men's 1,500 meters promised to be a very quick affair indeed, with the likes of world indoor champion bronze medalist Ethiopian Mekanen Gebremedin, who after placing 6th in the London Games had reversed his strategy as shown in his blistering 3:31.86 in Lausanne on Thursday. American Matt Centrowitz Jr., son of great American middle distance runner Centrowitz Sr., is the United States top miler despite his Olympic 4th place finish. He is among many high-speed middle distance runners who were tactically plundered in London, along with Kenya's Nixon Chepsiba, and others who now run for technical glory in the pursuit of fast times. Chepsiba, despite running some of the best time in the world, has yet to be named to a Kenyan World Championships or Olympic athletics delegation, so you might say running fast is his specialty. Pacemaker Andrew Rotich got the race off to a good start, recording a 57-second first 400 meters. He followed this up with a very fast 1:53.72 800 meters. Finally, in the last meeting of the British outdoor season, a fast 1,500 meters time on the island was underway. Behind the two pacemakers is Bethwell Bergen, 3:31 1,500 meters standard set in Monaco and a 3:50.43 Prefontaine Classic miles are his recent highs. By the bell lap, pacemaker Gideon Githumba started to inject a bit of pace again, as the tempo of the earlier laps had fell a bit behind the schedule. Crossing the 1,200 meter mark in 2:52 revealed the slogging of a 59-second third lap. Githumba added a bit more speed in his final duties, but he was soon gone and was now top gear time dash to the 3:30-second border. The feisty Bergen still clung to the front as Iguadir, Kiplagat, Gebremedin, Rotich, Centrowitz, Chepsiba were all strung out on a row that was starting to break into pieces. Kiplagat was the first to dash Bergen's top spot dreams as he passed his compatriot in the outside lane. Gebremedin also gained and was in good position as Bergen was fading fast. Chepsiba in orange was finding traction and looked as though he had the momentum. But Gebremedin had something to say about that as he had the home stretch speed today. He throws it all down with a 56.7 second last 400 meters, leaving Chepsiba on the second step. A 3:34.80 for Gebremedin and clear victory over Chepsiba, Magoo, and the rest. The Olympic gold medalist Maria Savinova was on the track facing Pamela Gelimo, the 2008 Olympic champion who was running for honor after placing a very disappointing 4th in the games. Gelimo was able to defeat the Russian last Thursday in the Lausanne meeting with this burst of speed down the home stretch. However, Savinova is out to unseat not only Gelimo as Olympic champion, but also as the undisputed #1 ranking at the end of the season. Savinova is a master at getting ready for major championships, as she is also the current world champion at this distance and will no doubt be on hand to defend her title at the upcoming 2013 World Championships in Moscow. Savinova got out to a great start as Gelimo fell to the rear with a late kick strategy in mind. However, the current Olympic champion stayed to the head of the pack and after passing the first lap in a meteor 61 seconds, pushed in earnest on the back stretch. But by 600 meters, America's Maggie Vesey and England's Lindsay Sharp were nipping at Savinova's heels. But that is when she went into her Olympic finals gearing and took off. Gelimo was left behind with the underclass as she had been trapped in a box of runners and started her kick way too late to catch the reigning world and Olympic champion as the Russian runs away with the victory and crosses the line in a pleasant 2:00.04 time. Gelimo's second in 2:01.04, while England's Marilyn Okoro takes third.
The Stade Olympique de Ville-Impoté, or the Olympic Stadium in Lausanne, Switzerland, is a packed venue as the most famous man in all of athletics. That would be no other than Usain Bolt was in the house. The anticipation was justified as the big man's bravado and charisma exemplify a sort of charm that exceeds the athletics field. The men's 200 meters was Bolt's playground in Switzerland as the cast of world-class opponents on hand, including Olympic silver medalist Warren Weir, was merely a backdrop to most of the fans and spectators. Bolt didn't get out that quickly, as his start is the only weak part of his race, but in typical fashion he was in the lead by 40 meters. Bolt had already made up the stagger on Weir and was now coming off the turn with a slight lead as European champion Chandri Martina of the Netherlands was hanging on, but this was soon dismissed as Bolt increased the tension and eased away to a record 19.58, a new stadium record, while Martina reverses the last two digits with a superb 19.85 Dutch national record. Ashmead in third also sub 20 seconds, but of course all eyes on the big man, Bolt, as the press and the fans can't seem to get enough. The replay helps to discern the lesser finishes as it shows Ashmead third, Young fourth, and Weir fifth, all for Jamaica. But if Bolt and company were not enough to highlight the depths of Jamaican sprinting power, the other half of the Jamaican BMB boys also had a crack at the record books. Johan Blake, not about to stand in anyone's shadow on the athletic field, was on hand to face a host of Olympic finalists that included second fastest of all time American Tyson Gay and two-time Olympic relay gold medalist Jamaican sensation Nesta Carter. The start was great for Blake in lane 4 and Carter in lane 2. Bailey in 3 drops off for some reason, but Blake pulls away as Gay is coming on strong but can't get there as Blake pulls a fantastic 9.69 address to send his first place prize check and notification of the second fastest time in history, behind Bolt of course. Carter in third also records another sub-10 clocking as the replay shows superb power sprinting at its best, as Blake clearly has the edge over Gay, who seems to ease up just a bit and still clock 9.95. France's young Jimmy Foucault coming back nicely from injury with a 10.02 fifth place. Blake was ecstatic with the performance and was greeted by the big guy himself. At this moment, these are the only two men in the world who can defeat one another. The stadium crowd was caught up in the excitement of the men's high jump competition as it produced a collection of impressive performances and dramatic twists. First, British jumper and Olympic bronze medalist Robbie Grabarts goes after a personal best and British record equalizer with his 237 meter, 7-foot 9-inch effort that he clears on his first attempt. The weight was now an Olympic champion, Ivan Ukov. Ukov, a big pressure jumper who hasn't missed an attempt today, is in his first place and will remain so if he clears this jump. Boom, back in first place as Ukov hits on his first attempt. Mutsat Sparshin lying in third place, making his second attempt at the height. And woo, he barely but finally clears the height, rewarding himself with a new personal best and national record to take back to Qatar. But tonight, that is not good enough for victory, as 3 men have reached the mark as the new standard of 2.39 or 7 feet 10 inches, equaling the best in the world this season, is now the first place requirement. With plenty of crowd support, the tall, lean figure of Barshin approaches and gets the lift off right as he floats over the bar to culminate his efforts with this massive first round neat record clearance of 2.39. One of 3 Olympic bronze medalists, Barshin barely cleared the lower 2.37, but he puts that behind as he skywalks into the lead with a flight of grace that shattered the Mossy meeting record set back in 1994. Grabat misses all 3 jumps, but the wily Olympic gold medalist Ivan Ukov had other ideas about the final placings after missing his first attempt. His strategy was to go one higher with this awesome 2.41 effort. As Ukov charged the bar, the entire stadium was fixed upon his flight, but it was not to be. The disappointed Olympic champion will have to settle differences over the rest of the season. The men's 1500 meters was a very fast affair. Unrestrained by the barriers of tactile Olympic-style running, the pacemakers flamed up an intense series of race splits that kept the proceedings world-class honest. With a strident lead pack of closely knit compatriots and Ethiopian Gabriel Medine in his wake, Kenyan Khalid Ndiki fights to hold the lead. But the wolf pack is tearing down the doors. Chepsiba, Kiplagat, Gabriel Medine, and American Matt Centrowitz end up in lane 4 to get a clean shot at a final sprint. But Kiplagat and Gabriel Medine have the next gear as they both sprint away to decide the final prize, as Kiplagat manages to squeeze a bit more from the tank and records an excellent 3:31.78 time to help ease the pain of his perplexing 7th place performance in London. Centrowich in third records a new personal best of 3:31.96. The men's 3,000 meter steeplechase finds another Kenyan track superstar without an Olympic team to call home. Paul Koech was back in form now that the business of national squads was over. Koech followed a quick pace of 2:38.55 for the first 1,000 meters and 5:21.91 for 2,000 meters before he made his grand move just before the bell, as Jarius Barech and Bernard Nganga are left behind. Barech breaks away and closes the distance and looks poised to strike at the lead. But by the home stretch, Koech does what he has to do and puts away the hopeful. 8:06.38, a fantastic time and a chance for Koech to earn some prize money instead of medals. The women's 800 meters was an exciting affair that pitted Maria Savinova, current Olympic champion and world champion, against the former Olympic champion and indoor world champion Pamela Gelimo. But it was Elena Kopanova who was way out in front after a 57 opening 400 meters. As Gelimo and the trailing Savinova went after Kopanova, Canadian Diane Cummings went in the mix for a moment, but when Gelimo went into overdrive, it was only Savinova who sported the same gear ratio. It was Gelimo out front in lane 1, and Savinova started to close the gap, but the burners had no more acceleration left. Gelimo strides into a hard-fought victory of 1:57.59 as Savinova leads a rushing charge of 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. The women's 100 meters proved to be a display of fireworks as well. Chief among the arsenal was Olympic gold medalist Shelly-Ann Fraser, along with silver medalist Carmelita Jeter and bronze medalist Veronica Campbell-Brown. Fraser-Price gets a great start in lane 4, but in 1, Ukraine's Olesin Pov zooms but quickly fades as Kelly Baptiste threatens, but whoa, Jeter surges and levels with Price right at the end. 10.86 meeting record for both ladies and a photo finish ruling awards the first place prize to the American. A look at the replay shows us what we already know. Jeter closing in on Price very quickly. However, the line result is still too close for me to call, but Jeter is official, winner of the Lausanne Diamond League meeting ladies 100 meters. Athletics World Weekly now heads to the land of the Holy Cross, or Brazil, and the second largest city of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, for the 15th edition of the Rio Half Marathon. Rio on deck to host the 2016 Olympic Summer Games is also known as the Marvelous City, and one does not have to wonder why, as the incredible scenery and landscapes of the city attracts active types from hang gliding enthusiasts to marathoners, or in the example of today, half marathoners. More than 12,000 runners assembled in Rio's south zone on the shoreline of the exclusive enclave of São Conrado Beach for the first of 2 race starts. First up is the elite female start, which is triggered at 8:35 for the approximately 15 elite female athletes. Brazil's best female hope against a squad of Kenyans is the 38-year-old veteran Nonata Cruz da Silva. On the Kenyan side, 23-year-old Kenyan Pasquilla Chepkorir has achieved recent victories in the Sao Paulo Half Marathon and the Half Marathon de Cataras in Puerto Rico. This is her debut Rio race. The start pack of ladies is also comprised of Eunice Chepkorir, who has run a 1:08.29 in the Athletissima Half Marathon in the Basque Country of Spain and a recent 31:57 in the Santos, Brazil 10K. Back at the men's start, the elites and the masses, more than 10,000 strong, start out among the coastline, which of course features stunning scenery and vistas over this fairly flat course. However, winds can be a factor as well as heat. The men got out quickly as the course record of 1:02.51 set in 2009 by Elias Gelimo was a target on offer. The men's elite pack was of course starring any number of Kenyans who didn't receive a precious invite to the London Games. So, go to Brazil and race for money seems like a reasonable option for the likes of returning champion Mark Carrera, who won last year's race with a very good 1:01.33. Kenyan Edwin Rotich takes the early lead. The young 22-year-old Rotich hails from a small town called Sept in the Kenyan Rift Valley. He now makes his home in the southern Brazilian town of Nova Santa Barbara, running for cash prizes in all of the big South American road races. The women's race for first place turned into a solo effort for the likes of Chep Corey. The 23-year-old Kenyan anticipated duel against returning champion Eunice Jepkikuri never materialized as Chep career surged at the 5-kilometer mark, taking no passengers with her. This victory should come as no surprise when one considers that the former World Youth Games silver medalist over 3,000 meters a few weeks ago blitzed the San Tribune 10K race in 30:57. Becoming the 11th woman under 31 minutes over 10K and the 5th fastest Kenyan all time. She also clocked the number 2 fastest time of the year. She has made the leap from junior prospect to senior champion just under the radar of world recognition. She wins the day in a great time of 1:07.17. That was essentially a solo effort. Back on the men's side, the pack of elites was now a duo, and what a dynamic duo it was, as the last 500 meters of the course turned into a flat-out top-gear struggle of the two exports from Kenya. Just as in the women's race, the returning champion was being brushed aside by a new name as defending champion. Mark Career summed up the deep reserves in an effort to maintain his conflict and retain the title. But Wilson Loyane was still a step faster. Loyane should have been the favorite going into the race. A 26-year-old who won the Mombasa Marathon in Kenya to gain his first headline, Wilson followed that up with his first foreign race last October in South Korea. He won there with a personal best of 2:09. His next outing again in South Korea, this time at the Seoul International Marathon, where he continued his winning streak, beating the favorite Kenyans to set a course record of 2:05.37, a mark which moved him into the top 30 of all time. Wilson is in top form as he completes a thorough triumphant career by seizing his champion's crown and breaking his course record in an impressive 1:01.46 time. Athletics World heads to Flint, Michigan to take a quick look at the Bobby Crim Festival of Races. The major race is a 10-mile imperial distance which has been held in August in Flint since 1977. The men's race was won by Kenya's Julius Kogo with a time of just over 47 minutes. Athletics World Weekly closes out the show with a look back at the only British male athlete who holds a standing world record.
Jonathan Edwards' first attempt in the triple jump began one of the most extraordinary scenarios ever played out at a World Championships. Already world record holder with 17 meters and 98, Edwards goes 18 meters and 16 legally on his first attempt. But that wasn't the end of it. On his second, he was going to go even further. He cuts the sand at 18 meters and 29. That's just over 60 feet in imperial measurement. Edwards, like Bob Beamon in Mexico City in 1968, has taken the jump into a new dimension. And given how far behind the plasticine he was, surely 18.5 meters is going to come soon for Britain's latest star in the athletics hemisphere.